Mr. Deputy Director, Deputy Secretary General, our guest speaker, Chairman of the Insurance Association, Mr. Skul Manyat, and Deputy, ladies and gentlemen, and also startups and members of the audience. I am Chuchatr, and they told me to keep it within 25 minutes, so I try my best. You might have seen that I was a bit reluctant before I touched my hand, so I was afraid that they will try to copy my fingerprint and biometrics. So I was trying to trick the machine whether if it's gonna work, but I just have to tap my hand on the screen. So I look a bit awkward, but that was why. So to begin with, welcome to InsurTech Summit 2024. This is the first event and maybe the only event in this year because it's already in November for InsurTech. Maybe we hope that we will have a lot more events next year. The first time they approached me about this year, actually this has been a continuous event for many years, and which means this is a truly very special event. We got to learn more about the InsurTech, and we got to listen to the startup and their ideas and how they use technology to transform the insurance industry. I think we should have more of these events. Maybe a big event like this, maybe it can be online event, but it would be great if I have a new microphone. Okay, joking aside, OIC has a policy called Insurance Community. We want to make Thailand a center of the insurance knowledge or know-how, and also to be the center of everything insurance basically. And that includes not just the advancement in the policy or the investment or insurance business in general. More than that, we want to emphasize on the technology. We have been trying many ways in order to help making Thailand to be the leader in these aspects. At the beginning, we want to be the center of ASEAN first, and I believe that in the near future, sincerely speaking, ladies and gentlemen, in the near future, Thailand will be even more interesting than Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever you want to learn about the technology and advancement, they will not go to Singapore first. They will come to Thailand. And that is our goal. And that's why we have invested in lots of resources and manpower into this. And this is why. And we have to admit that our insurance ecosystem has changed dramatically. There are a lot more players. So in the past, whenever I talk about the stakeholders in the insurance business, we normally have insurance companies like insurers, general insurance, assurance, insurer and OIC. We only have a very few stakeholders in the past. But nowadays, things has changed. There are many new phases like InsurTech, startups, and even medical centers and logistics business. And I think it is time for us to work together because collaboration brings us technologies and innovation in insurance products and insurance industries to help serve their demand, and especially in terms of technology, the advancement. We have to admit that we have been talking about technology so many years. 4 or 5 years back, we didn't use the word digital disruption, but we have been disrupted and things accelerated during COVID because we have been disrupted with the lockdown, with the touchless and with the no face-to-face approach. And that brought us lots of technology. OIC play a very important role in supporting the technology adoption. So whenever you ask any approval, either through Sandbox or not through Sandbox, you always get the approval, or most of the time we try our best to accelerate the process. And also the supply chain, starting from the customer's touch point. And also more sales channels, especially through the online channel. Let me share with you a story first. So this is some very interesting story that I think it is worthwhile talking about, especially in the insurance and general insurance business. When you look at the statistic, in terms of sales channel and technology, you will find that there are some increased in online technology adoption, but it was very slow. But now we have seen an exponential growth. Technology is coming and it's replacing traditional ways of insurance or the agents. You can see the competition between the agents and the technology, and we have to really admit that our insurance industry is much more special than other businesses because it is based on trust, and people trust in people more than technology. So what that means to us is we have seen many businesses, they have been working with InsurTech and startups to develop a technology to help them get closer to the customers. Maybe they create a toolkit that allows simple process like the explanation and presentation to make it easier with technology, and that is truly amazing. And also the new product development such as we have more technologies, the customer risk profiles can be identified more accurately. I visited Japan a few years back, and many years ago actually, things were moving very fast. Maybe you say that today you have a better technology, but imagine many years ago, Japan was the leader in technology. They just use an iPad. They just ask you how old you are, what do you do, what's your education background, and some general information. They just collect some data, just like what we used to do. And even though they even ask the account savings, they just want to know. With that simple data, they could offer you the insurance policy that fits you with the right amount of premium where you could afford within just a few seconds. That was the real technology years ago. But what it shows us was that it reflects the customer's demand. It was just new technology for technology's sake. It's not just a tool to help you sell. It truly answered to the customer's demand and also the customers after sales service. So after sales service. And then today we already know more about these systems such as OCR, optical character recognition, or RPA, robotic process automation, which help us process everything behind the scenes and help us provide even faster and more accurate service to the customer. You will see more like this, and especially about claim management. There's a company from, actually this one is from 7 to 8 years ago. There was a Chinese company who presented a claim management system to us. But as I mentioned, technology grows exponentially. And what I am sharing with you was actually ancient today. I believe that what you have in your hands today, you can actually use your mobile phone to check some data, and it can help evaluate the damage, the claim, the repair. You just use your phone and let your phone read the scene. It can share with you how much repair, and even tell you how many days do you need for your car to be repaired. This technology is, I believe that we are familiar with this kind of technology anyway. They can even tell you where the spare parts, who stock these spare parts, do we have enough spare parts in the storage, and if you have to order the spare parts to ship in, where is the best place to get that, how close to your home, how many days does it take for the product to ship, and it tells you where you need to go to the garage. This is truly amazing through the AI system. And at OIC, we used to work with Chuchatr University to conduct a study. And we want to know about the industry's readiness in insurance. We found that overall, we have more than 78.5% readiness in terms of technology. But we want to achieve 90% in the near future in terms of readiness, because in Thailand, the insurance business, our size is vary from very, very small to very, very big. And we don't have a lot of medium size, but we have a lot more on the big size and a lot more on the smaller sizes. It is our job as a regulator to help supporting everyone to grow together. And many people they ask me all the time, whenever there's a press, they ask me about digital technology. But digital technology is actually part of the reason that we always say small is beautiful. It doesn't matter. We are not just taking care of the big ones. We are not trying to consolidate everything. That's not our policy. Technology will actually help them to level the playing field because the gap used to be big, but now it's getting smaller. Next, open data or open insurance. Okay, I will go through this more quickly. So open data and open insurance. Don't you believe that just about 2 or 3 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, I would say about 2 years ago, one of our OIC officer, Kun Poppy, right? Are you here? And oh, here we are. Hello. And our experts, they used to invite a special speaker to explain OIC about open data 3 years ago, right? It was 3 years ago. They shared with us about open data, and I was there. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I felt like it was not English. Like everything was like alien language. I don't understand. And I do not know whether if it can really offer that such value and can it really do that. But today we will find out more. And you know what? After that, 3 regulators, including the Bank of Thailand, the SET, and the OIC, we had another round of discussion. How should we do? What can we do with the open data? What OIC wants to do with open data and how long does it take? But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, since that day I didn't understand the thing. It wasn't English for me. Like business, banks, finance, and insurance, how can everything be connected with data? But today, it becomes the global trend, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the OIC, SET, and also the Bank of Thailand to find a way to connect all of this as soon as possible. Let's imagine, ladies and gentlemen, let's say I want to buy an insurance. Let's say if I want to buy a policy, if you find a data where it shows me, okay, but everything should be under PDPA. That's a big remark. But even the bank, even everyone, they should follow the PDPA because the bank has a customer credit information, or I see that we have different data. But imagine if I want to buy an insurance and I let them see my personal data. Just like I said earlier, you open up the data, they understand my preference, they know what I like, they know what I prefer, they know what I like to invest in, they know how much money do they have in my bank, I am this much age, and they have other information like personal information. Once we can open up the data where everybody could connect, the insurance will become more realistic. They understand how much you need to pay in each month for the premium. You know that you need to take loan from the bank. All of this data can be open, but once again, under PDPA, under your consent too. If you can do that, it will become fully integrated industry. All these 3 industries will be together as one. And that's a very good thing from everyone. The first time I heard about that was, I didn't understand because it was very new, but in reality, ladies and gentlemen, we have been doing that quite a lot at OIC, but it came up in many other forms. So what we did, for example, people who are in the general insurance business, I believe that you are aware of what I'm about to say. We have first launched the open data by asking you to share the information among each other. I think we did that 10 years or more because like motor insurance, it was compulsory, right? We collect all the data, the name of the insured, people who has every kind of compulsory motor insurance. We have that data at OIC and we share with every company. So when there's a damage and when there's an incident, they can just check their rights and policy right away, even though the hospital, we call it the e-claim, right? That has been proven. That open data allows us to improve the efficiency. So we know that this car with this license number, when they get into the accident and the person is injured, they know that the person has to go to this hospital, they have this coverage. Imagine without any insurance, how much damage would that be? They know even different kinds of insurance. They know that if they have this insurance, they pay this much. If they don't have this insurance, they have to pay that much. Today it can be very different, but we know how much do they have to pay depending on the level of the coverage and also the level of the care they need. But that was like 10 years ago. In the past 4 to 5 years, we have been working with the Department of the Land Transportation. We share the data about the insurance. So whenever you want to get your car registered or you want to renew your license, you just tell them the license plate number. But let me tell you that This is more than 90% workable. We have been working with the Department of the Land Transportation. It will be full-fledged in the next few months, but you can just tell them your license plate number. You don't even have to carry lots of documents like you used to be. You can just walk to the counter, tell them the license plate number, and they know that which company is covering your car within this period to that period, for example. We have been sharing a lot of data like this for a long time, but we haven't really maximized the data that we have shared. But it will come, and it will come very quickly thanks to the collaboration between all three regulators like Bank of Thailand, OIC, and SCT. But we cannot be successful without the support from our insurance and including general companies. Please help me. This is now your part to play, and you can help us make it happen. Alright, we have been using open data for a long time, and in terms of using the data to further develop the product and services in the near future, like I said a bit earlier, like what I have covered in the past 15 years, the more data we have, especially the customer data, the better we could design the policy that serves the customer's personal demand. The connectivity between the data, the connectivity between the agencies like the hospitals and everyone. If the data can be connected, like what we did with the land transportation, we could do a lot more. Imagine what we can do. Some companies today already start working as the intermediaries. I'm sorry I cannot name your company on the stage, but there are some companies who start providing the claim services. Imagine in the near future with such technology, if we could share the data. If I have my health insurance, they know where can I go to. I don't even have to tell the company anything. I don't even have to tell the hospital anything. They don't even know other insurances. By the way, the system will show that I have the coverage under this company with under policy, and the insurer can collaborate with the hospital automatically. And I can just walk to the counter. Maybe I'm unconscious, maybe I lost my conscious, I cannot say anything, but I can get the treatment or the care under the conditions within my policy. I can maximize the use of my policy thanks to the open data. At the moment, we already kickstart the insurance bureau in simple words. And there will be more details in the next few minutes. But let me remind you once again, it has to be under PDPA, right? Once again, we collect statistic data, non-financial statistics too. We have been collecting many data under the policy, all kinds of policies, all kinds of insurance, by the types, by the categories, and the details for such as general insurance. We have been collecting this data for 5 or 6 years. We have been sharing the data to more than 1,000 tables or statistics or data. We can generate the data for you to help with your business at the moment, and in the near future, we will open up the database for the business, and business can have access to our insurance data. They can use the data from the insurance bureau to help with your business. Maybe you want to develop a new policy or life or general, you can do it with the data from the insurance bureau, and even life insurance. Actually, for life insurance, we have started for a couple of years and it went very well, and I believe that in the next 3 years, so 5 years from when we started, 5 years, we believe that we can move on to the general information. We have a lot of data, especially we know that some buckets are not perfect, but it will not be 100% perfect. But the data that we have has more than 80 or 90% credibility, and you can use the data to support your business. Imagine if we are successful with this open data, it will not just the insurance company. We will let everyone, our general public, to get access to the data and make a good use out of it. That's the future. You can do whatever you want with the data. Once again, this data will open, but again, it's always under PDPA. You cannot get the personal information. You cannot tell if your friends have life insurance with what company or how much premium or my medical record. We cannot review that because under PDPA or claim you cannot do that. But you have a lots of data to play with. thanks to the innovation. Because with such data, it allows us to offer even more innovations and to make it even more personalized. And AI and cloud strategy. Many years ago, we say that AI was extremely very expensive, but today AI has become a commodity. AI is a very effective and very powerful tool. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me share with you what we did at OIC. We trained everyone from the most junior one to the top of the organization to understand what AI is. We provide the training so they know how to generate the prompt based on the data that they have. And the IT and CT team will use it to prepare for the services. We have seen many developments. We know that even ourselves, we need to adapt. We need to adopt the AI. We need to know how to use AI and cloud technology. And I believe that every business is now transforming yourselves. And you have seen so many changes, and not just the AI or cloud. We know that the InsurTech companies and startups also enjoy the benefit from such advancement. And all agencies, including the government and OIC, we need to adapt as fast as possible to adapt and adopt this technology. And more importantly, as I mentioned earlier, digital development is exponential. The change is exponential. What we have seen in the past will not be like that in the future because there will be change. And lastly, please be assured that today at CIT, I have to go back to when we started CIT about 30 years ago. We received a lot of support from our stakeholders inside the industry and also outside of the industry because CIT has been the center of the know-how, and we helped developing skills for the industries, and we have been the center of the InsurTech startups. We provide them suggestions. They show us their innovations and concepts. Together we learn, and together we want to turn CIT into an innovation center, to be the center of promotion and adoption of technologies in insurance industry. We will try to bring all technologies in one place. We want to create a space to develop external sandbox and also internal sandbox within even OIC, but especially for external sandbox for non-OIC. So we have both internal and external sandboxes. We will try to make it more seriously. And it has happened. We have seen examples. We have seen many results, and I believe that OIC and CAT team has the capability to deliver that. And in summary for my keynote, and there are 3 key takeaways. These are benefits, technology, and OIC. I believe that we can use technology to transform the insurance industry, and we can do so very quickly. We have been thinking about it from many aspects. We can help insurance industry to grow with technologies. There are many things that we can do, but the low-hanging fruit is to adopt the technology, because technology is a very important driving force to support the industry growth and to offer the best experience for the public. And OIC will try to support this. And especially in the near future, we hope that the insurance industry, besides of being more sustainable, we need to change according to the new environment and also the new risk with a new concept, a new way of business where we will use more technology. And I hope that today's meeting, especially like our MC told you, you will enjoy our guest speakers because we have experts from Thailand and overseas to share with you about the advancements in many kinds of technologies. Let's learn about that together. We at OIC will also learn with you. We will never stop. Our industry will never stop, and we need to rely on each other, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, thank you all very much for joining us. And thank you so much for listening to me very carefully. I really enjoy sharing with you as well, and I hope that you also have a good time too. But thank you so much for joining us today. All right, my clock goes down to 0. Thank you so much.